Parshat Shmini 5784. Be'ezrat Hashem, the learning should enable us to get to the next level. In creation of the world, we finish Vayishbot Elokim Bayom HaShvi'i, Vayanach Bayom HaShvi'i. It's all about the number 7. Says the Sfat Emet when we open up our Parsha, it begins Bayom HaShmini, on the 8th day. And he says in a very interesting way that this was the ending of the creation of the world. That there was something missing in creation that only ended in this Yom HaShmini, the 8th element. So the question is, what is the Sfat Emet saying? What does this 8th day have anything to do with the ending of creation of the world? And so therefore we have to realize that the numbers 6, 7, and 8 are dealing with one concept: the tension between the world and God. And in this, there are 3 different circles. The first circle in the tension is realizing that on surface level, the world is different than God. Hashem is endless, and our world has an end. Hashem is hidden, and the world is revealed. And so the world begins with the presentation that on a surface level, you can choose the world over God. You can become a slave, someone who is illusionized by the consistency of the world, by the strength of the world, and exchange it with God, which is exactly the idea of Avodah Zarah. And the idea of number 6 is that it represents the world. Forwards, backwards, left, right, up, and down. When we play Monopoly, there are 6 sides to the die because it represents the world as a world that's locked up, that you could live without God as if on a certain level, on a surface level. Then comes in the 7th day and Hashem says, realize that now you can have a relationship through the world with Hashem. If you look for the meaning, if you look for the purpose, if you look for the root of the tree, if you look for the cause and not just the effect, you will immediately find God. In the words of Rabbi Nachman, Isha Yehudi tzarich limtzo et hasechel shebechol davar. The davar is 6. It's what is. The sechel is the cause. The definition of a Jew is that they're always looking for the 7th element. They're always realizing that Shabbat is the goal of human beings, to find what's called the cause, the effect, the root of what we see. And then we find the relationship between the world and Hashem. But comes Yom HaShmini and says 7 is also dangerous. 7 is a very religious Zionist number. How do we make an impact? How do we make a change? How do we bring God to the world? How do we go to the army, fight for the land? And this is so much bigger than 6. The world of information that is not looking for relationships. Relationships are always in the ability to find the cause. But there's also a danger in number 7, is that it's not going to be forever. Even when you find purpose, you could be limited by it. You could be controlled by it. You could think that you are in control. Comes number 8 and says, listen, for sure, look for the meaning, but don't define the end zone ever. In Am Yisrael, there's only an endless zone. The highest level is after you've reached number 7, to know how to let go, to realize that with all of your ability, with all of your strength, with everything you've done, there's something called beyond. Number 8 is not within, it's above. And because it's above, it's endless. It's not controlled by you. It's greater than you. which is why chesed is the idea of number 8. You connect to something greater than you. Suddenly you become a happy person. People think letting go is despair. That's true if it's before 7. That means you don't care. But there's a letting go that I've done everything that I can, but now I'm ready to be surprised. I'm ready to know that I've done everything to educate my kids, but my kids are part of Hashem. And I could also let go and let them surprise themselves and surprise us and surprise the world. So the idea of the Yom HaShmini is the end of creation. It's saying to man, at the end of Sefer Shmot, you found number 7. You found that man can search for meaning, build a Mishkan, but yet not enter Kodesh Kodashim. There's something called Chol, which is 6. There's something called Kodesh, which is 7. But what is Kodesh Kodashim? That after I've built the Kodesh, I realize that I'm not fully in control, that there could be a surprise. And this connects to the Yortzeit of Moreinu Rabbeinu froman. If there was anyone that was a free Rebbe, that was able to learn so much, sit on a bus for 6 hours and learn the Rambam, stand in a lunchroom with no one listening and teach halacha, give a shiur at 3 a.m. He put so much effort, but yet his favorite thing was tefillin shel rosh. The ability to let go, to be free, to realize that freedom is only if you're aware of number 8. Freedom is only if you're really aware that you need to do everything you can. But it still doesn't mean that you're God. There's always going to be something bigger. And so that was Reb Froman. That's why he was always davening, not out of letting go, but out of yearning for things to be a surprise. How much do we need the 8th element in our days? We tried to bring 7 back at the beginning of the war, but we see that it's coming back, the tension, the anger, the fighting between each other. We need to realize to keep working, but to also realize the beauty of tefillah, of yearning for miracles, for surprises, for Kodesh Kodashim. And same too, going this week into the wedding of Mori v'Rabbi, Achi v'Re'i, Reb Avi Kira, and Elianna, the Gdolat Dor, the one who's able to bring art and so much unique yearning to go more than just information. Their wedding is a wedding of the number 8, 2 days before Rosh Chodesh Nisan. The Chodesh of Adar was the Chodesh of 7. Get involved. Mordechai says, Esther, look for meaning. But comes Nisan and says, now that you're relevant, the greatest relevance is to be willing, excited, and ready. To be like Avi and let go of the ball and let it fly in the air and see if it goes into the basket. To be Elianna and put colors on a page and ask yourself, are there elements of secret in my art? Giving a bracha to the entire Jewish people, going into the 18th anniversary of me and Tanya, that we're able to realize the true chai is that we work so hard and at the same time know to be ready for new surprises, to feel that the 18 was almost a day and that we're only at the beginning and that there's so much more and so many surprises. Bezrat Hashem, to be ready to elevate us and to elevate our children, grandchildren, and great-great-great-great-grandchildren. Bezrat Hashem.